she stood unsure, a pretty filly tied to the gate, bound with a note that sorrow made. A lovely girl with a gleaming coat, with hooves as swift as shooting stars. You dazzle those who heard your name, Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. We grew to love you instantly, though sometimes loving you was hard. We'd raise our eyes and sigh again, and wonder what you'd do and when. Senorita Rita, wild and bright, she breaks the rules and can pick a fight. She makes us laugh and test our grace, yet everyone loves our Rita, our filly at the gate. Bold and sassy, proud and fearless, she showed us all just who she was. She has a complicated heart, they say. Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. We'll never tame your lightning heart, never train your spirit away. We love you just the way you are, Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. Never change, spicy Rita, but keep your ears pretty, Rita, our pretty filly at the gate.
I can't believe how much she's grown
Oh my gosh.
since she's we've had her for 3 years, a little over 3 years, and she was about a year when we got her. So
Yeah.
she's a nice 4 years old. Hey guys, hi to hello.
Hey, y'all.
How goes it? Okay.
Oh no,
Lord.
there's my alarm.
There's Jamie's alarm. That means get out of the tub.
It's just not. It means that my bread's done, and I actually pulled it out a whole minute early. I want to show y'all.
Get out of the tub, Jamie.
What? I made sourdough bread with cheese on the top. A little garlic, a little herb. I know that you would like a bite. I made some for everyone.
Well, you're invited to have bread. We're gonna
But we're gonna break bread?
Yeah, we're gonna break bread together.
It's
Now-
been such a busy day that Lester and I have not eaten yet.
No, we've not eaten.
Sorry.
And that's not a bruise. I've not been beating anybody. That right there is a purple medicine you put on horse hooves. What do you call that stuff?
Durasol. It's for thrush. Val's got a little bit of thrush, a little problem with their frog. How did it look tonight, by the way? It was her right front, right?
Yeah, the passenger side.
Yes.
Passenger side. Boy, that looks good.
Right?
Throw some butter on there and hand it over.
Tossing it. I'm doing it.
And I would love that heel. This
you
is
want the heel?
I like this part over here. I don't know about you guys. I love the heel.
Wait, what do y'all call that?
Heel.
Hill?
Jamie, don't start, please. Please don't start with me, everybody. Do not start with me. It's the heel.
So,
What do you call it? The heel? It's the heel. It's the end of the bread. It's the heel. The butt.
a lot of people call it the butt. Last time people called it the crust.
Do I have no glasses here?
Lester Morrow, you had a pair on, and I brought you an extra pair.
Better than what happened yesterday or day before yesterday. I had glasses here,
Mr. Panic here.
and I'm like, where are my glasses? They were in my pocket.
He's getting so
And
mad.
I'm like feeling here, and I'm checking my pocket. I'm like, where are my glasses? And I'm running around the house like crazy. Thank you. I finally get me some glasses, and then as I'm putting my glasses on, the ones I find to put on, I do it, and I bump the other one.
Yeah.
Oh,
The other ones are on his head.
oh, they're up there. Whoops. So I was freaking out for nothing.
I've always
Sometimes
called
I
it
freak
the
out for
heel.
nothing.
Yeah, I've always called it the heel as well. Not the hill, but the heel. And
I like butter.
this is Kerrygold butter. That's my favorite butter. I know I'm a butter snob now. You know, I didn't know the difference between butter and margarine until I was in my 20s, though, right?
Hold
Which
on.
is kind of embarrassing.
Anne Marie writes a paragraph. If y'all haven't noticed, I always grab paragraphs.
Because he loves to read.
I love to read. I
Cheers, y'all.
do.
To dinner. Sorry, we're eating dinner in front of
In
you.
front of you all. Lester, I have something better. I was talking to my aunt on the phone, and I was walking around the house, looking in the basement, looking upstairs. I finally said to my aunt, I'm looking for my phone now.
She was talking on it. Happens to the best of us.
I'm looking for my phone. And she's on her phone. Anne Marie.
We've all been there. It's fine.
Oh my goodness. I get it, Anne Marie.
How is it?
It's really good, but it does have like a taste of garlic or something.
Yeah, it has garlic, cheese, and a little bit of Italian herb on it.
Now, you got, oh boy. Do not get me started, Jamie. Someone says, hey, let's talk football. Boy, I've been driving this girl nuts wanting to talk football all darn day.
I look at him and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how I'm supposed to react.
It's
Like,
the playoffs.
I'm like reading.
Playoffs?
I'm like reading what he's telling me and like his bodily, like his dynamics around it. And I don't know if I'm supposed to be excited or be like, ooh, or you know, like.
Well, there's really only one thing so far that I would love to talk about: football. And you know what it is because I came out the RV screaming.
The RV was
Screaming.
a rockin' and I was not in it. Let's
Yeah.
just say that.
Yeah, that's true. The RV was a rocking, and it was me in there by myself. It was just me, and I had that RV a rocking.
That door flung open and he comes out screaming.
Now, does anyone think they might know what would have had me in the RV rocking? I want to find out if anyone thinks they might know why I had the RV a rocking by myself. What do y'all think I was rocking it with watching? Yes, some people know me very well. It was not music, guys. It was actually the fact that my boy. So, you know, I have a favorite team, and my favorite team are the Houston Texans when it comes to football. And you guys already know me. I like local teams. I always go local. Astros, Rockets, Texans, local Houston teams. And then, but I also have favorite players, and I have always rooted for underdogs. Did you know that about me? I've always rooted for the underdog. And Josh Allen, if you guys don't know his story, he was not a privileged guy who was coached by and went to the best of schools, and his parents paid for the best, you know. No. He didn't. He earned his way through. I mean, I'm not going to tell you his entire story. I could talk this guy all day, but he has a hell of a story. And so I've always been a Josh Allen fan, and he's the quarterback for the Buffalo Bills. Now, I'm so sorry to you guys in, in upper state New York. nothing against your town, but if Josh Allen was to leave and go play for the Raiders, I would still root for Josh Allen. It's nothing personal. So he's just a fantastic player. But I tell you what, he's come into the league in a really hard era because it's the era of the Chiefs. And you know what I'm saying? And every year that's been his nemesis. This year, the Bills are not doing as good as they normally do, but they did make the playoffs and they won their first playoff game, and they were picked to lose. So I am so very proud of them. They beat Jacksonville, the Jaguars, in Jacksonville, which was pretty impressive. And it came down to the end of the game, and it was back and forth. And so I was on cloud nine. I didn't really care who won the other games. I mean, I've watched a lot of football. The only team I really want to win would be tomorrow night when the Steelers when the Steelers take on our hometown Texans. And we will be playing on the road. So I really hope Houston can pull that one out. All right, I'll let it go now. I love me some Josh Allen. I should go put on my jersey. You just eat some more bread and
I don't want to eat any more bread.
butter me up some.
I'm
I'll
like
eat it.
super content.
I'm
Do you
gonna
want
put
it
my
toasted or you just want it warm like it is?
Just butter it up, Jane. Just butter it up.
Lester wants butter on his bread. We're gonna butter his bread. So, football. I'm so happy that he has something he loves. So happy. I know enough. I just don't care enough. Does that make any sense? The same way, if I turned on Grey's Anatomy for him, that he wouldn't be like, "Oh, Dr. Dreamy." He just wouldn't, and doesn't care if I watch it. But I don't. I haven't watched it since I met Lester. But you get my drift. Like, it's not really my thing. So I found other things to do today, which was fine. But he definitely would come flying up because he was so excited. And because I helped him write down his bracket, I think he felt obligated to share that with me, which is fine. He's also looking for something that I don't know that he's going to find. I've never seen a Josh Allen jersey. If that's what he's looking for, it might not. I don't know. Not really sure what's going on in there. But nonetheless, butter. I grew up with Country Crock, and I can't believe It's Not Butter was an upgrade from that. And I didn't know about sticks of butter, like sticks, like butter, like how the difference really. And even sticks of butter were like, what's the gold one with the blue? Starts with a P, I think. What's that
Chef's.
called? Somebody's gonna know. It's margarine in a stick, but I don't like margarine now either, but that's all I knew about whenever I was growing up.
Josh Allen, Jamie. Josh Allen.
It was sticks of margarine, and it's gold, and it's got Parquet, Imperial, those two things, yes. So now my splurge at the grocery store is Kerrygold butter. I also like the sticks of Kerrygold butter that have herbs in it. So good. If I thought about it, I would have just spread that on this bread, but it's okay. We're having a carb kind of dinner, carb kind of weekend, I guess. We had kolaches and donut holes yesterday, although I only ate 2 of my donut holes yesterday, and then Lester tried to give them away, and it didn't work out. So, Parquet, yeah. See, people know.
Year of the Horse. This year, Fire Element only comes around every 70 years. Supposed to be an exciting year for some people. What does that mean?
The Year of the Horse is the Chinese Year of the Horse, and the element is fire. So you have earth, wind, and fire. You know about that?
No.
Yeah. So you know how you have I think it's astrology. I'm a Cancer, and I was born in the sign of water. Does that make sense to you? Like if wind or no? Okay, never mind.
Too many strikeouts in football to enjoy. And I hate when they tackle the batter.
Microchip, We speak the same language, the very same. Today, Lester's like trying to explain it to me. He's like, no. They get this many timeouts, and if they can challenge it, and they like he has to throw it on the flag, and I'm like, what flag? And all of a sudden, out of his pocket comes this little red thing, and he's like, phew. And Lester goes, now, if he wins it, he gets to have it back.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't, he loses it. And I'm like, forever? He's like, no, for this half. God, why? Why was that to be so hard? Baseball. I know baseball. I also know basketball really well.
Yeah. Elora loves her horse. And
Did you get to watch the Denmans live at all?
no, I did not. I was working, guys. I was so busy. Today was a busy day. I know you're thinking I'm sitting there watching football all day, but Jamie can vouch that, yes, I watched football, but I worked while I watched.
That's true. We both worked all day today. And
Today was so busy. Luckily, I was working inside a little bit, so I was able to catch football. But no, I did not watch the live. Did you?
oh, I did. I caught a little bit of it.
And?
She was in the shower, and they had to text Caden and tell her to come outside because she was outside from sun up to past sundown
On that horse.
on the horse and with the horse and putting tinsel in her hair and braiding her. It turns out that she chooses peppermint treats over Muffin Zone, in case you wanted to know.
Okay.
And they're just spending her entire weekend with Electra, and I thought that was just so beautiful. And
Well, don't forget what Rick, our friend, Think Like a Horse, Rick says, is that every horse deserves to be loved
by a little girl.
by a little girl. And so good for that horse and good for Elora. And I know for a fact that isn't why Courtney and Ashley were able to part ways, because they knew that Electra deserved that.
It was, I've been friends with Courtney and Ashley for a very long time. And I've known about this horse since they got her. And I didn't know that she was overlooked 8 times. And I also didn't realize the timeline of how long that Electra had been at Twisted Tear. I didn't realize that it had been over 2 years, and she was the very first auction horse that they rescued. And she came in with another horse, and the other horse has gone, but Electra kept getting looked over. She was actually passed up on 8 times that people were supposed to select her.
Too small. She looks bigger. She looks bigger in pictures than she does in real life.
And she was small, and her ears, some people said her ears were ugly, which made me really cry, actually.
Huh.
And so she eventually just became Ashley's horse, and Ashley rode her. She's a gaited horse. That means that they walk different, they feel different when you ride them, that type of thing. And they just assumed that she was just going to be a part of their lives forever. And
Who's Broccoli? Yeah.
and eventually, when we started talking in this 3-way text between Steph, myself, and Courtney, there was another horse that was the possibility. And I asked about Electra because I knew Elora's size and I knew Electra's demeanor. And Courtney said, that's my wife's horse. You may have to twist her on for that one. And I just brushed it off. And we went up that day, and I got to visit with all the horses, and Courtney had several that were like, here's the consideration. Well, Electra was the last horse that we met that day. And when we started, we didn't capture this part on video. It was so windy that day too. We were walking across their yard to get to this last pasture, and Electra from the very back comes hauling up. And I mean hauling up. She was so excited, so proud. And it was because Ashley was walking with us. And I thought there was no way on earth that this was going to turn into what it did. And I was like, that horse really loves Ashley, And Ashley, I think, had a really hard time. She told me yesterday, she goes, I had a hard time with this. She goes, but at the same time, she goes, I know that Electra deserves the love that Elora is going to give her. And she goes, and I told myself that I would see what happened the day that they met. And if they connected and clicked, that I would know. And she goes, I watched her for the first 3 minutes. And she goes, and I knew that Electra was just as in love with her as she goes, more than I could ever be. She goes, Electra lit up whenever Elora got on her, and Electra took ownership of Elora. So that was the ultimate of, I'll call it sacrifice. That's, when you love an animal enough to let it go.
I'm not trying to change the subject, but I am just going to say hi to Donna and say, you must have the new iPhone update. Because Jamie, have you got your update yet?
No, I'm not allowing it to auto update.
Don't. I guess you have to at some point, but no matter what you say, it comes out different. And so I bet you Miss Donna said it's because Universe had plans for Allura to get that horse. And of course, iPhone says it's because Universe had plans for Aurora to get that house. Yeah, if you don't double check your iPhone these days, boy, if you got an iPhone and it asks you for an update, careful. You think you get some cool stuff. It has messed all my pictures up. I can't find what I'm looking for in my photo gallery. The texting is just putting whatever it wants to put. And I'm thinking, I'd never say that. I don't sound like that. It's just adding all kinds of stuff. Okay, keep going about Allura.
No, I just, it was magical to watch that connection yesterday. And then it was like, it was heartbreaking to watch an ending for some and a beginning for some happening at the same time. And it also like, it was very quick, and Elektra was pretty anxious as well. So when she got in the trailer, it was kind of like, we got to go, because she was in the trailer alone. And that is pretty scary for a horse.
Well, it's like I think Buddy said in his video that the last time that horse was in a trailer was when she was on her way to the auction.
Yeah.
Or is coming home from the auction. So
same circumstance.
They associate things, guys. They're not dummies. They're very smart and intelligent. They can associate things. And then something beautiful that we did not video, but when we got home back to the JL Ranch yesterday, our trailer turns into the driveway, Roman looked up, man, his chest stuck out.
Storm.
And he began to like gallop down towards the driveway. Here comes Rita. And of course, Gemma is right behind her. Gemma didn't know what's going on. But if Rita's going to run, Gemma's right behind her. Storm and all of our horses,
the whole herd,
they come down running because they saw the trailer.
That trailer to them
they associate trailers with new and friends and someone's coming to visit.
They were so excited. It actually made me cry because they thought we brought them someone.
They followed that trailer all the way up, and then at some point they realized there was nobody in it, and they were so
disappointed. They pouted, literally pouted. We didn't video that, but it was like you and I were pulling in and we're like game planning of what's next. What do we have to take care of? What do we have to do? And all of this is happening. And I think we both looked at each other and just realized as Roman's coming up of like, oh my God, they think the trailer, they think that someone's in it.
Yeah, it was the trailer. So they do, guys. They are smart enough to realize that they can associate trailers. It's like with Tex. Whenever Tex was living here, and he'd already had that ride in the trailer from Plum Grove to here, to Longhorn Lester's. And so when I got ready to move all of the cows from here over there, Tex saw that trailer as change. I'm not getting in that trailer. And man, he would not go anywhere near that trailer. And I had the hardest time loading him because he associated trailers with being moved. And even though he wanted to go with his family, he needed his family, he just was so nervous and worried about a change in that move. So negative and positive associations.
But we knew that Elektra was pretty anxious yesterday when she got in that trailer because her last trailer experience was not, it changed her life to go to that auction. Now, it did change her life to come to Courtney and Ashley's, but leaving what she's known for the last 2 years, that's very scary.
Yeah.
So we knew that it was, it was time to move. But I have a video that comes out tomorrow that is behind the scenes of yesterday, and I was considering not playing the footage, but after I went back and watched it, there's some moments in there that are just so worthy and so special, and I wanted to share that. So that'll come out tomorrow, and somebody might have met somebody while we were at Twisted Tear.
Oh, well, I think I know who you're talking about. You had told me about this little tiny horse that that was supposed to be gone.
Yeah.
And he's still there.
Yes. I have not asked yet. We haven't even got to that part yet of like why he's still there. But Lester got to meet Pistol Pete yesterday.
Well, he was cute. Don't get me wrong. He's a cute little fellow who thinks he's the man. I didn't say the man, the man. He thinks he's the man. But I'll tell you what, there's another horse over there that no one's gonna know. You guys are not gonna know this horse. You may know.
I didn't video him at all ever.
No, this is a horse that no one's gonna know. But I'll tell you what he reminds me of. He reminds me of a horse who's been through a rough go, and he's scared of people. And he, a boy he's black. He's all black. And he's in his very own pasture because he does not get along well with everybody else, which is sad. And he doesn't let Courtney or Ashley handle him and work with him at all. And I tell you what, I would not take him and put him with our horses, even though I sometimes think that maybe our horses could actually tame him or gentle him down a bit. I don't know if that happens or not. But we have great horses. We have a good chemistry out there. But I'll tell you what, just seeing this fella and knowing that he's off to himself and he doesn't really have anyone who is able to handle him. And I think maybe he needs a man in his life. Maybe. But
my favorite part about that is that the same way that I go and visit there, I don't get to go very often, but when I go to visit, my heart bleeds. Usually for the underdog, usually for the weakest. There's a horse there that you didn't get to meet. Her name's Rhea.
Yeah, it's not Blue. I know.
It's not
I
Blue.
meant Blue. No, this is a horse you guys would not know because he's not in a lot of videos. He's off to himself.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, he is a beautiful, big horse.
Yeah.
And he runs and he looks like such a stud.
And yeah, I just loved that you felt what I feel when you go there. Like you see them as individuals instead of just a pasture, pastures full of horses. And like, I did not prep Lester for this event. I did not say like, I want you to meet so-and-so. I want you to walk around or anything like that. Like, I just was like, we have to go haul a horse. That was it. And when we got there, we had a little bit more time than what I thought we would in the beginning. And Lester got to see some of the horses and the ranch itself. Like, that's probably one of the things that I loved that he picked up on. I knew he would, but the way that they're structured is functional is the best way to explain it. Functional and safe and thoughtful. And they have different pens and pastures and the way that their loafing sheds are set up and the gate structure and all of that. Like Lester was talking about on the way home. He's like, that was just really thoughtful of how those are all lined up.
Yeah.
And you got to meet Mary, little white Mary.
Yeah, no, it was some neat stuff. We saw some neat stuff yesterday, and it was a pleasure helping out a little bit. And then I'll just backtrack on what I said this morning. I make no apologies. I make no apologies for going live because I caught a beautiful moment with Courtney that y'all would have never seen had it not been for me. So I'm not going to apologize for that.
I'm not going to apologize for cutting it off early either then, because people really got on my butt.
Oh, they were on my ass too.
Man, people were so mean to me.
I've not read as many of mean comment as I read yesterday on that live, and they were mean to me and they were mean to you, and I don't even apologize.
How dare Jamie? Shame on you for
y'all are mad about
jumping in and ending a live and lying that you had to go because of signal. And I'm like, hold on. We had a horse in the back that we were leaving for.
Yeah, it was pawing.
It was pawing. She was anxious.
What's that noise?
We're
not about to turn off, are we?
I don't think
Are we still
so.
charging? God, I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're charging.
Oh, I heard a noise. I thought we were
No,
about to shut down.
We loaded a horse. She was anxious. We had people who were going to follow, and we were about to drive where we had no signal and where I needed to navigate and have GPS. So,
Chill out, people. Just chill
You know
out,
what?
y'all. Just chill out.
man, people were just like,
Just chill out,
you
y'all.
took us away from all of the joy of the day. You're so mean and ruthless, and you took away everything from Lester. Poor Lester.
Yeah, y'all just need to chill out a little
I
bit.
was like,
I've not
am
said
living in
chill
real
out
life.
in years. How long has it been since you said chill out? I have not said chill out since I was in like middle school. Why am I saying it now?
I don't
for?
know. I say take a relax because
Yeah. Well, anyway, no, we had a great time yesterday. I was happy to be able to do that, our part in helping all of that happen for that little girl. And I am just so very pleased that it was a good chemical connection. and that she actually liked the horse. Because if we'd gone through all of that,
Oh man, that would have been hard.
and she had not actually liked the horse, because that can happen, guys. Don't forget, in this day and age, it could have very easily been that it wasn't a good connection for her.
Yeah.
If something had gone differently and she had not liked it, then it could have been all of that. Could have been like, oh well, okay, back to the drawing board, But I think it's great that that you and Steph went ahead of time, and that
I think that was critical. I do, because
Oh,
that
yeah.
allowed us to be able to well, not even me. It allowed me to make the introduction. I was there for fun,
Yeah.
basically.
And then don't forget that a lot of times children have different ways of showing their reactions.
Yes.
And so for the people who were critical of the way that Elora reacted, guys, not every child's going to jump up and down and scream and pull their hair out.
That's not who Elora is
That's
anyway.
not Elora at all. That's not Lex.
No.
There's not. I mean, that may be something that some kids do, but the way that people handle their emotions, especially a surprise like that is
was
very
big.
different. And it's kind of like you were expecting to see a child jumping up and down for joy. The reaction, what I saw, was actually even more touching,
Yeah.
because it was purely Elora and her
Yes.
quiet demeanor, and she's just so sweet natured, and she's not loud, and she's not
No,
the
never.
lot. She's not she's not a B Grace who's on top, and all.
No, they're
that.
very different. Elora is very she's reserved and shy and quiet, and she eventually opens up, but she it's still never animated and huge. It's still very just even keeled.
Yeah.
But she was so grateful, and she did cry, and after it processed a little bit, it was very quick, because Courtney was like, why don't you take this horse and go walk it over to that trailer, because she's going to go home. And she's like, I could see something in her face, a little bit. And then she was like, wait, I thought it was home. And,
Yeah.
And then when she goes, she's going to your home, Elora just
Wait.
sat for a second and wasn't processing it,
What?
because she wasn't expecting this to happen so fast. She's been asking for this for a long time. She's been horseback riding for 3 years and has been asking for it for that long. And all the things that were happening around her at home, this is so funny that they were talking about it, except for they called it broccoli instead of a horse.
Yeah.
So it's become a huge joke about hauling broccoli and picking up broccoli and, getting shoes for broccoli, or not shoes, but getting brushes for broccoli and cleaning your broccoli. And oh my gosh, there's all kinds of inside jokes that have happened around here. But no, it is really sweet, and probably one of the most fairy tale things that have happened on Morrow Hill.
Well, I wouldn't call it a fairy tale.
I think it's a fairy tale thing. I think it's magical.
Either my glasses are blurry or fogged up, or I'm going to. Oh, maybe it's my glasses.
Could be your glasses.
Carry on, Amy. Just carry on.
It was a very heartwarming weekend, to be honest. I wish that we lived closer so we could ride, near her and
And I could video it all the time and get me some really good content. I could sit outside and watch and wait for Elora to get on that horse to get me some content. And yeah. Now I'm just messing with everybody. I'm playing.
Apparently your sister Kim, though, was out there with her this evening and got to be able to spend some time with Electra and Elora
Good.
too. So I thought that was sweet.
Well, that is Kim's granddaughter.
Mhm.
And so that's a special moment for Kim and for her. So that'll be a really neat thing to have happen.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on. We've been on the
Well, tomorrow.
Electra, Elora for the Half This Live, and people are saying, move on, move on. Let's
I
just
have a
move
positive-
on.
I have a positive news for tomorrow.
Oh boy.
The
Yeah,
floor.
Pawpaw will do that.
the floor.
Pawpaw will do that. Pawpaw will grab Pawpaw will say, hey, Elora, right over here. He'll be on that. Yeah, go ahead. You know my dad.
I know. And I'm just thinking about Elora wrote up there yesterday, which means that there's going to be a video of her.
If
coming
if
out.
my dad's not already released it, then he has one ready to come out. I promise you that.
Though, I think about the story that your dad tells about him riding the horse the last time you saw him get on a horse, and that probably has to be a pretty proud moment for him.
Do y'all know that story? Have I ever told that story? If we're talking about horses
Might as well tell
and
the
my
story.
dad, we might as well tell the story of the last time my dad ever rode a horse, if you want to call it that. The last time my dad ever tried to ride a horse. You guys may remember this. I don't know how long you've been watching my dad's channel, if you even watch my dad's channel, but my dad did at one point have a couple of horses. And one of them, the mother who has passed away, she was able to be ridden. Even though my dad did not ride a lot, she was able to be ridden.
It was Amy's mom.
Yeah. And so, what was that horse's name? Gosh darn it.
Precious?
No. I completely forgot that horse's name.
I don't know because I didn't get to meet her.
Yeah. Well, she had cancer. She had a tumor.
Yeah.
And we had vets come out and there was nothing you could do for her. So, but anyway, that's not the point.
Chauncey?
My dad would he did these Civil War reenactments, right? And so once a year he would get on his uniform and he would go by and do, his Civil War reenactment. And so as a reenactment, you could choose any position you wanted to be. And my dad used, in the early days of him doing reenactments, he was just a regular, I'm going to call it infantry, foot soldier, But at some point, my dad, I guess, maybe he looked up and saw there was other guys who could do it on horses, cavalry, cavalry. So my dad went that year and he bought himself all of the cavalry outfit. He bought him the cavalry, which means he's a horse soldier now, right? But he hadn't ridden a horse in years, even though he had one that was rideable. Guys, this is my dad, and I can tell this story because I love him. And I love him no matter what. And I'm laughing with my dad, okay? We're not laughing at my dad. Chancey. Anywho, so I'm over there, and my dad is out there, and he's got all of the Civil War gear on. He got his sword. I mean, he got his pistol, his high boots. And I saw he had a new outfit, and he had even bought a saddle that was a Civil War era saddle, or at least a replica, a look-alike. And he had gotten that horse all saddled up. And he had himself out there in the yard. They had a concrete picnic table. Okay. I'm starting to laugh already, and I don't want to laugh. Okay. And I'm sitting there watching from my porch. And I see my dad go out there, and he steps up onto the bench, the bench of that picnic table, where he's a little bit closer up to that horse's back. And then he goes ahead and puts one foot kind of in the stirrup right there on the driver's side, the side. And he takes his other leg and he lifts it over. And I guess he completely missed the stirrup. And he goes all the way over and lands on the other side of the horse. Oh, I went running, guys. I felt so bad for him that I went running. I ran from my house all the way down because I could run back in those days. And I ran all the way over to check on him. And he was getting up and he was dusting himself off. But I'll tell you what, he ended up not going that year as a cavalryman. He went ahead and stayed infantry. And but I'll tell you what, he never attempted to ride that horse again. And I feel bad because they
both retired that day.
They both retired that day. He was going to go and he was going to be part of the cavalry that year and ride around as part of the cavalry. But no, I checked on him. He was fine, guys, and he listen, he wasn't the pawpaw of today. He wasn't an 80-year-old man then. He was probably closer to maybe his 60s or maybe 60s something. So anyway, he was not frail enough where we could not laugh and joke about it. It was a big joke amongst the family. And I told that story to everybody who would listen. And I've told it multiple times, okay?
Many people want to know the story where you gave Dan a lift and flipped him all the way over the horse. Your dad apparently tells that story. Do you remember that?
No, Dad's lying.
Why?
That was Dad that went all the way over the horse. That was another time. Dad, if Dad put Daniel in that story, then Dad's absolutely lying. That was my dad. Listen to me. Do you know the story of my dad and the canoe?
Yes.
My dad.
The canoe story is freaking hilarious.
Listen, my dad must have horrible balance, and no one's even ever checked his ears. Okay, they've never checked his ears because he won't admit it. So we had a canoe, and we were taking this canoe. We had so many canoe experiences and adventures.
The canoe one I know about is where you guys went up to Splendora and rode home.
So we drove up several miles upriver, and we got out and had my mom drive the truck back, and we unloaded the canoe. And me and Dan and my dad were going to all get in that canoe in the winter during Christmas break and canoe home. We were going to canoe down river. And
it sounds like a great idea, doesn't it? In the middle of winter.
Well, I did not realize how fat Daniel is. He's too heavy to be in a canoe. 3
men are too heavy to be in a canoe.
Yes.
Period.
And even though I was in probably tip-top shape, they put me in the front. And you guys know in the front of the boat, you have no balance whatsoever. They put Dad in the back, who has no balance, 0, and then Big Dan in the middle. And Dan's always been big, guys. For years, Dan's been a big boy. And so that canoe is just skimming the water. We are like, the water is, here's the canoe and here's the water level. And it's like this the whole time. And I'm having to hold each side and use my body to kind of balance. You know what I'm talking about? You're trying to balance.
I've never been in an overweight canoe. I
have
canoed down
it's
the
horrible.
river.
It's horrible.
And I know that the back person steers
yes.
for the front.
Yes.
But you have to have a whole lot of core balance to be able to do that.
Well, we all had paddles, but here's the, if I went over to paddle, we were going over. So I just put my paddle down and I'm holding both sides trying to balance us out. And here's the thing. If you
hear all three of these guys tell the story, it is dynamically different.
And the trailer was already gone. We didn't video back in those days, guys. We didn't even have phones, I don't think. I know we didn't even have phones back in those days. But the thing is, so we all get in that canoe, and then my dad, oh my God, he had to bring his gosh darn dog. He's always carried a dog, and it's the most annoying. He's always had a dog.
It was a pug, I'm guessing.
It was a pug, but it doesn't matter. It's still a dog.
Well, it wasn't like Heidi is what I was getting at.
No, it was a small dog. So if it's not bad enough, 3 fat men in a canoe who are not canoe experienced and a dog. And so, and it's wintertime, so it's cold.
That's what I mean. Like, who doesn't think, like, man, we're probably going to tip over? Because I'll tell you.
Rub-a-dub-dub, 3 men in the tub. That's what we look like, okay? That's what we look like.
All 3 perspectives in this story, by the way, are top-notch and completely different about who sat where and how this happened and all what happened. And then the best story is G.
Don't talk about the end when we got home and I could not find
that is the best story. That's the best story.
The dingling part?
No, the part that G tells.
Okay, good. Okay, good. Did not want to bring that part up.
Thank God.
Whew, that would get us banned for sure.
Oh my God.
So we start off down that river, and guys, my mom then took off. She's gone. And
that was her instructions. Drop us off and we're gonna canoe home.
And here's the thing: you don't forget that the river ran right behind the house, but it's about a mile behind the house.
It's not right behind the house. It's a good mile.
But we had a place to land the canoe. Problem is, we didn't make it that far. We didn't make it till the first bend in that river. And that river comes down, and they have these little slight bends, but on occasion you have these deep bends. And we get to that first deep bend, and whatever's going on, my dad doing this, trying to balance it, and boy, we all went over. And that water come gushing, and that entire canoe flipped over. Well, now we're all soaking wet. I'm trying to grab the canoe. I don't know what Dan's doing. My dad's trying to grab his dog. He's trying to swim and find this darn dog.
Dan said, you guys had a cooler or a paddle or something that Dan was chasing. That's the story that Dan tells, is that nobody cared about the paddles.
Yeah, Dan was trying to get the paddles, but we didn't care about the paddles.
No, Lester and Papa are like, Lester's just like getting the canoe.
I was cold.
The dog.
I wanted to get out and build a fire.
Yeah,
I wanted a fire.
Lester's like, we got to build a fire. You have so much more to go. You're
no.
not.
Well, then my dad has this BS story. He goes, no. Do not take off them clothes, because I'm like pulling all my wet clothes off. He goes, leave them on. And they're freezing to me. They're freezing. And I'm like, it's cold. He goes, leave them on. They're going to insulate you. I'm like, no, they're not. They're cold. He would not let me pull my clothes
I
off.
I wish that I would have been there with the camera because this is like the way that they tell it is really the way they act in real life, and all from their own perspective is so different and so funny because Lester's only concerned that he's going to get frostbite. It's probably 50 degrees outside, by the way. It's not probably freezing cold in any way. And whose brilliant idea it was to put 3 grown men in a canoe in
It was my dad's idea. It was a dream of his. It was my dad's
when
dream.
you were kids, probably.
The thing is, here's what every man forgets, that at some point you passed your expiration. Things like that were expired. At some point, you don't take a bunch of men and get in a canoe. And my dad didn't realize that we were all way past that. He was trying to live a childhood dream and ended up to where we all about killed ourselves. But we finally get the canoe back to shore and we flip it over, get all the water out of it. We're freezing cold. And then we have to get back in to continue because there's not a house, guys. From
There's
where we
nothing
were
on
at,
that river.
there was about 7 miles of nothingness. And we're in deep woods. And there's no way we're going to be able to walk out of these woods. So we have to get back in and continue on downriver. And when we finally made it, we were so cold and we were like shivering and like we all had like, I've never been so cold. Then we bring the canoe up out of the river. And I guess the embarrassing part of this whole story, that's not really embarrassing. That's just we flipped over. But I'm just going to go ahead and just say this. Okay?
God.
I'm just going to go ahead and say this. I just want you to know how cold it was.
Oh, my God.
This is how cold it was. And I know that you're not going to get it. If you're a woman, you're not going to get it.
My grandma might be watching. Just keep
If your grandma's watching, she was not going to get it anyway. But do you know that as a man, you can get so cold that your soft tissue will literally climb up inside of you? I don't mean shrinkage. I mean hidage. I mean, it will hide inside of you. Stop saying shrinkage. It's not shrinkage.
It was an innie.
It was hiding. Like, you don't understand. I thought I had lost it on the river. I thought frostbite done took it off of me because it was not there. It was not there.
But who goes to check? That's the thing. It's
Me
like-
and Dan were both looking for it. We couldn't find. Listen, I'm not making this up. Guys, listen to me. You don't believe me, do you? You don't believe me. It hides. It climbed up inside of me. I don't mean we all can joke about shrinkage. It went hiding. No one cares. Anyway, I could not find it, and it terrified me. I thought I was so cold that I had lost it, like in an accidental way, and it was the whole. Why are you laughing? It was gone.
The funniest part is like me and Dan could find it like you looked at each other's.
I did. We were looking. Jamie, we didn't care. We thought we were done. Our men days were over. We thought our men days were over.
Oh,
Anyway,
God.
we couldn't find them. I looked for his and he looked for mine. And my dad was just like running. He had that dog. My dad was running home.
Oh,
Anyway.
God bless America.
We never did that again. We never did that again.
Now, tomorrow I want y'all to go on Papa's Live and ask him about the canoe trip.
Now, I've done many canoe trips by myself.
Yeah, but not
or
with 3 grown men.
Well, I've done it with guys from work who were grown men in shape. Okay, there's a big difference.
But not 3 in a canoe.
2.
Yeah.
They have
I ain't
3
never heard
seats.
of 3 in a canoe.
They have 3 seats, but we kept it to 2. And since then, my dad, he never went in that canoe again. He gave it to me.
Would you?
I did many times, but my dad just gave the canoe away. He's like, I don't want it. You can have it. So I took
No,
it.
he's got 2 grown sons checking each other's parts out to see if they fell off.
Oh, he was very ashamed of us.
Oh, I bet so.
That was the day that my dad almost disowned the both of us.
Oh,
If he
my
had
God.
if my dad had another son, that guy would have had everything, and we would have had nothing. Yeah, my dad lost total respect for me and Dan that day.
Well, you also became his daughters that day. So
Yeah,
that's-
my dad had 4 daughters that day. He was a proud father of 4 daughters, and we got the dog and we made it home, and all we had were stories to tell, and And the good news is, after I thawed out, things finally fell back into place. We'll just say it that way. So everything's fine. And there was no permanent damage from what I know. I ended up having another son down the road at some point. So I think that all is good. Okay.
The thing is
So-
how long is that from the drop-off point to the house? A mile, 2?
Oh, no. It was over there by Salt. So it's 3 miles driving. But
Oh, okay.
but a river
Yeah.
is a river's not
Oh,
a
no,
straight shot.
No, it's probably like 6 or 7.
A
then.
river.
Yeah.
We kind of put it at 7 miles.
Did you?
Because later on, when we finally got hold of something called Google Earth, we could actually zoom in and follow the river's trail.
Yeah.
And yeah, we estimated that to be about 6.5, 7 miles from there.
Hmm.
So
And you almost died within the first.
the
Block.
first 100 yards.
Oh my god.
It was the first 100 yards.
Yeah,
it
y'all are
was
gonna have to ask.
horrible.
You're gonna have to ask Papa's
Horrible.
version, and then and then maybe G can tell her sometime too. Dan's is hilarious too. They're all outstanding, and
Well,
if
they're
they're
gonna
in
lie.
earshot of each
They're going to
other,
lie is first of all.
they call each other out on the lies, which is top notch. But individually, they're all different.
Is that where I got my angel voice from when asked?
That's where Dan got his. That's when Lester first came out. Good times, good times.
We should try to redeem ourselves and do it and retry that trip. Someone says, God,
Not
could you
that
imagine
river.
us now?
No, oh my God. The 3 of you in a canoe. No, it would have to be one of those gigantic blow up rafts to be able to make that happen.
A flat bottom boat, maybe.
Maybe, but that river is treacherous. It's a different space now. Way
Yeah.
different. That would
Yeah.
be something. You canoed down this river or kayak down this river.
Well, yeah, I've just kind of like, that's not my thing anymore. I did kayak down this river once.
Yeah.
When we first bought the property, one of my visions was to use the river for fishing and for recreation and things. And I kayaked it for several miles downriver. And going downriver is easy, but coming back upriver is very challenging.
And treacherous. I mean, this is a pretty dangerous river too,
Yeah.
to be honest.
Shoot that fly off of that bread. I'm
Want
going to
me
have some more
cover
of
it?
that.
I'll go cover it. Put it in the
Okay.
microwave.
Yeah, so that was a fun story, but I'm afraid that Dan is only going to lie, and then my dad will for sure lie. They never want to look bad. I don't mind looking bad. I just, because it is what it is. No, but that was a wild one. But no, the red kayak was actually belonged to my dad. And you know what? He had just bought it for that reason, because he wanted to adventure with his 2 boys. And he used it one time and that's it. But I will tell you something else. Same dad, same brother. Me and Uncle Dan used to go cross the river in a flat bottom boat. Now we would cross the river because what we would do, Dan had a spot that we go over there and we would hunt hog. We had a lot of wild hogs there in Plum Grove. And so we'd go over there and we would set up in these tree stands and we'd hunt these hog. Well, one night my dad wanted to go. So we're like, oh, that's fine. He can come. So we all come over there. And the only way to cross that river was the flat bottom boat. Right. And so sure enough, the 3 of us get in that boat, and because it's a flat bottom, we were able to make it across okay. We docked the boat on the other bank, and we all went to our hunting spots, and we were going to steer and hunt us some hog. Well, at some point, my dad got cold, and he was going to go on back home. But we're like, well, how are we going to get the boat back? He goes, don't worry, I'll give it a good push, and I'll send it back across. The river's not too wide.
No, it's not.
And I'm thinking that, so he's going to take himself across, and then he's going to push that boat back, and it's going to, okay, fine. So me and Dan stayed there, and we hunted most of the night till the next day. We come on out of those woods, and our boat's gone. It's nowhere to be found. And we have nowhere to cross that river except for swimming. And so we had to have our rifles, and we didn't want them to get wet. And we were, of course, boots and all, and we just tried to ford that river. You know what ford means? We had to ford that river, and keeping our rifles dry and everything else. But we couldn't find our boat. We thought Dad was messing with us. And we got home, and Dad goes, no, I pushed it right back across. I pushed it back across, which was a lie. or he may have tried to, but it didn't make it. And so later that day, me and Dan had to go back down there and walk down the river. But get this, somebody on the other side of the river had found our boat, and they had tied it up
Oh.
along their campsite. And so Dan convinced me to swim across and steal it back. Yes, and this was the dumbest thing Dan ever made me do. I don't know why he didn't do it. So here we were. That was our boat, but
I
we
have a
couldn't
feeling
prove it.
that Dan did not make you do this. I actually think you are generally the instigator in
No.
most circumstances.
So
yeah.
I had to literally get in the water, like I'm thinking like Navy SEAL style. Like I'm down to here, and I'm just like slowly moving across so I don't create any waves. And I'm just paddling like a dog paddle. And I get over there and I reach up and I untie that boat and I begin to slowly pull it back across. And we got that boat back across to our side and we yanked onto it and up the hill we went with it. But yeah, Dad pretty much just let our boat go, and someone else who was camping downriver found it.
He
and
probably
claimed
pushed
for
it.
their
It
own.
just didn't actually hit the other side enough, and the river probably took it. I'm
He
guessing.
could have told us that. He
How
could-
could he tell you?
He would have seen it floating away, and he could have went and got it himself. Anyway, just bottom line is, the whole point of the story is my dad does not do well with boats.
That's true. That is
My
accurate.
dad does not do well with boats. All right.
This is why women live longer, by the way. The funny thing is, I know a lot of you and Dan and your dad's story.
Me and you went canoeing one time.
Yeah.
We had fun.
We've canoed several times. We drove it to Double
Double
Lake
Lake.
and did it there, but we canoed on the pond several times.
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah. Oh yeah.
kayaked and all of that. Like, I've canoed many times in my life, and I've been front or back, and I feel like I'm a pretty skilled canoeer. I sat in the front while we were at Double Lake.
You have never got in the back of the canoe, Jamie. I
Oh
would
my
have
God.
never let you.
I had a whole life before you where I have canoed in the
Oh, I
back.
thought you meant with me.
No.
I'm like, I ain't put you.
No.
I'm not gonna ride in the front.
I had entire like many canoe trips long before I met you. Down rivers. Maybe there was alcohol at times. And times when there wasn't, because I've also canoed and rafted the Black River, the Current River, the Hoozah, like the Merrimack. Those are all in Missouri. And some even with Xander. Xander, when he was younger, we would go and fish on some of those rivers in Missouri as well.
Before you build yourself up to be this great boats person,
I'm not a great boat person.
I just want to share the story of when
We
you
don't have to
lost.
share. We don't have to
when
share
you
that story.
literally lost
Actually.
my boat. So
Oh my god!
last boat story, and then we'll move on. We'll move on after this last
Oh
boat
my
story.
god! No, because I'm gonna tell one after that. Go ahead.
We had taken my boat, which was a good boat, to the lake. And we have a little thing that we do when we go to the lake. And I back the boat down to the water. Jamie gets in the boat and she pulls it around and she goes and she docks it until I go park the truck. And then I come up and jump in the boat and off we go. Oh no, let's not talk about the plug, the no
Yeah,
plug
I was
story.
like, go ahead, tell your story, because then I'm gonna tell the story where he tried to kill me.
And so, so on this, and then when we get finished fishing and we're done boating, we pull up and Jamie will hold on to the pier as I jump off and I go get the truck and back it in, the truck and trailer, and Jamie pulls the boat onto the
Trailer.
the trailer ramp. Yeah, the trailer. And so this one time we're at the lake and Jamie's having a really, really hard time, guys. She's having a real hard time getting this boat up there. And it's not really her fault.
I'm like,
The
oh,
water was choppy, a lot of jet skiers flying around, a lot of traffic. She was nervous, a lot of people watching. And Jamie's just circling around trying to get lined up. And she goes off the trailer, then she goes off the trailer this way. And she just cannot get that boat on there.
It
for
won't
anything.
stay lined up for anything. And the angle of the boat ramp was different than the one we normally.
It
put
was
in.
very steep, very, very steep. And said, no, I'm not in the doghouse, guys. I only get the doghouse if I lie. If I tell the truth, then I'm just telling the truth. Right. And so to make a long story short, we had such a rough go getting that boat loaded, and we were unable to get it loaded. Do you remember what happened, how it came off the back of the trailer? I'll let you tell this story.
I was actually in the truck in that moment?
So Jamie was unable to load it, so I went ahead and we traded spots. The truck was already backed up, so I go ahead and get in the boat and I pull it up into the back of the trailer. And at this point, it's time for Jamie to pull forward. And when you drive up, then you get up to the hill and you can finally go ahead and get everything done. And as Jamie takes the truck, puts it in the drive, and just floors it. And everyone knows that when you floor it, you're all going to go back. And not only did I go back, but the entire boat come off the back of the trailer.
To be honest with you,
And now our boat
is
is dry docked. It's dry docked on a ramp on July 4th. And there's all of these other boaters who are screaming and cursing.
All the old men are standing on the side.
And, no, they're not. They're in their golf carts.
Yeah.
They're laughing and they're pointing and they're grabbing videos.
It was the very last day we ever took the boat out, if you want to know the truth. It got traded in after that.
We traded the boat in. Yeah. That was the last time we ever went boating.
And I'll never do it again. That was it for me. I was like, nope, that just ruined it. Like, I love fishing. I do not love that boat ramp. I do not love that lake. It's a very scary lake. Our boat was actually way too small for that lake too. And we learned that very much so on that day too.
Yeah.
It was a bad day. It was a really bad day, but it doesn't really top the time that you tried to kill me though.
It took 15 men to pick up that boat and try to lift it into the trailer. And we just tore the bottom of that boat to heck, guys. I tell you what, I feel so bad for that boat.
Yeah.
But anyway, so enough boat stories, guys. Let's move on to something else. Everyone wants to move on, Jamie. They're begging to move on.
Well,
right?
All right. We got pretty lucky tonight. The temperature were supposed to drop quite a bit, and we were supposed to put blankets on. And now the temps are not going to get as cold as we thought. It's only going to drop below 40 for 1 hour, and that's from 7 to 8 a.m. So we have a night off of blankets, which was good for the horses.
Yeah.
Oh, no. It just started making noise again.
So the noises that you hear is our ice maker, and we have an issue with it.
I cleaned
and then
it.
it doesn't. You hear that noise? That's the ice maker.
I cleaned it. I ran it through everything.
Jamie, if you don't go unplug it, they're going to think it's us making that. Jamie, they're going to think it's us. One of us. It's not a kitty cat, and it's none of us.
Stop. It's going to be fine.
It's going to keep going, and they're going to think that we're doing that.
Stop. It's going to be fine. Okay. It's going to be totally fine. Okay. Anyway, but we will have blankets many more nights this week, so expect probably to watch some of that because Gemma got a new blankie.
Oh. Yeah, it's cute.
It's really cute.
That's actually my video for tomorrow.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, unless you want me to wait for some
ahead.
reason.
No, go ahead. Yeah, so we had blankets last night. We'll have blankets many more nights this week, but we got a night off tonight because it'll stay mostly above 40.
Yeah.
That hour dip at sunrise is not going to be bad. They'll be eating around that time anyway, so that will warm them up and the sun will come out and it'll be okay. It is weird. I called this out to Lester. I know we're almost done with their hour. It is weird that our coldest time here is at 7 a.m. I don't understand that. Like, that's our coldest hour every night at 7 a.m. As the sunrise is coming up. I always thought the coldest times were typically like 2 a.m., 3 a.m. But no, here it is at 7 a.m. And I don't quite understand that. I'm going to have to chat GPT the science behind why that happens here like that because I'm just so curious.
Well, I bet you don't know what false dawn is, do you?
No.
So how many here know about false dawn? D-A-W-N. False dawn. Does anyone know what that is? So you only know this if you spend time out in the woods, like when you're hunting or whatever. But at about 2, 3 in the morning, once your eyes have adjusted to the dark, something very weird happens. Jamie, could you just go unplug the gosh darn thing? How can I be serious with that noise? We're not in middle school here, Jamie. Please unplug the god darn. It's not me. Thank you. Why are you laughing like that?
Oh my god, that was amazing. Oh, dude.
Can't we just end the live on that one?
Yeah, that's it. That's it. I'm done.
We're just gonna end the live right there, guys. We ain't no good at this point. We ain't no good at this point. Thank y'all for watching us. Thank y'all for hanging out with us a little bit and being who you are. We wouldn't trade you guys for nothing, okay? And thank you so much for being kind in a world that has gone completely mad with reasons to scream and holler and fight with each other. And you remain kind. You remain the bigger person, and we certainly appreciate that. We make some mistakes. We have a lot of flaws, guys. We've never claimed to be perfect. And but thank you for sticking around and loving and supporting us nonetheless. We don't deserve you, but we ain't trading you for nothing, okay? We ain't.
We love you all so very much. We hope you stay safe, stay warm, stay well, and thank you for giving us the greatest gift of all, which is your time. Okay, I'm going to start saving for a new ice machine.
All right, guys.
An autumn morning there she was. In hazy sun she stood unsure. A pretty filly tied to the gate, bound with a note that sorrow made. A lovely girl with a gleaming coat, with hooves as swift as shooting stars. You dazzle those who heard your name. Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. We grew to love you instantly, though sometimes loving you was hard. We'd raise our eyes and sigh again, and wonder what you'd do and when. Senorita Rita, wild and bright, she breaks the rules and can pick a fight. She makes us laugh and test our grace, yet everyone loves our Rita, our filly at the gate. Bold and sassy, proud and fearless, she showed us all just who she was. She has a complicated heart, they say. Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. We'll never tame your lightning heart, never train your spirit away. We love you just the way you are, Senorita Rita, our filly at the gate. Never changed